Sorry, dealing with Kip this morning. He's all over the place. Into everything. Yeah. Basically kidnapped, yes. Um, for all intents and purposes, yes. Total kidnapping. He's got like three plays running. Yeah. Yep. Yep. One of those days. All right. So thank you, Nero. Appreciate that. Ugh. The boys are supposed to be awake. No, not 100% better. Not yet. Um, boys were supposed to be awake, but of course they're both sleeping. So I have Jin and the little one up here. Um, and of course, Kip is grabbing her play. He's just trying to troll her at every opportunity. So yeah, yeah, it's one of those days. Anyway, Monday morning. Um, looking for have some decent movement. It is all yen based, which makes it obviously a little bit more difficult. You're seeing dollar yen, pound yen both down the most, 84 and 137 respectively. Um, as far as is that big movement? Not really. Euro dollar, pound dollar, both pretty much exactly the same. Both green, but you can see in the last 60 minutes, both of them starting to retrace up with a little bit of dollar weakness. We mentioned dollar weakness coming in the U.S. session. You see, dollar Swiss is down, dollar CAD is down, Aussie dollar is up slightly, and again, kind of reversing just a little bit. We'll see. It's not by much. Euro pound up, showing a little bit of pound weakness. It's probably more European strength than anything else. And then obviously, again, the pound yen is up. So, you know, really over the weekend, we had some Chinese data out, better than expected out there. Again, these are rates, not necessarily. I don't know. These tend not to be the big market mover out there, but it is what it is. Um, this week, you're getting a lot of kind of mentions, and you're seeing it down here. The next phase of the Fed's historic inflation fight is waiting for rate cuts. I don't know that I believe that. I still think with energy pricing, energy doing what it's doing. Again, I was able to get gas for 360, but there's absolutely some places around that are 380, 383, things like that. I don't think that story's over yet. I think there's more to come with that. Um, look, here you go. Kind of a not so wishful economic situation. Um, so this is also an interesting one. I did watch this earlier. The U.S. recession is delayed, not canceled. Thornburg says so. Um, and then, I didn't see this one either. Feds can't celebrate yet as investors expect rates and inflation to remain elevated. So again, it's not over yet. Yeah, here's that other one, right? This 22 years and aggressive curve inflation. Yeah. So, and I really do think this bit of inflation. I really do think we're just one potential event from having to, have massive amounts in there. China's still selling weapons to Russia. I feel like once the United States is like, that's it, we're going to start sanctioning China, or you know, if they do go after, they do cross the strait to unify China in their eyes, and they put sanctions. I do feel like all that's coming back again. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, Today, no real major news out there. And again, you can see I have everything minus the small news linked. And then even tomorrow there is the Brink Summit. I don't believe, and again, it's been back and forth. There's been comments that they are talking about currencies, but then they're not. Then it's followed up by that they are not doing currency at this time. They're just trying to stabilize the relationship. So we'll see. You have Richmond Manufacturing, which, we've seen Empire be horrible, Philly be up, and again, existing home sales is, what existing home sales is. So, um, not tons, but as we approach this, kind of end of August, this is what we tend to see. You know, so not necessarily the most surprising. Remember my fruit fly problem? I still have my fruit fly problem. Yeah. So yeah. All right. All right, let's go right over into charts. I meant to go over here on VIX. So you can see VIX, we kind of had it peak on Friday morning, and there wasn't really a lot of news, and then it pulled back like we kind of expected. There's a little bit of a jump. We're still holding high at almost 18. Ginger, what was that? Hold on one sec. It was like a big thump. One sec. It would be Melissa's suitcase that Kip decided to jam into the door. So yeah. Anyway, so again, with it holding a little bit higher up here, again with lack of any news, we should see it deteriorate back to the downside. You can see the dollar. It really just held over the weekend. I thought we would get a little bit more of a pullback, and it looks like so far the morning push before the market opened, up until this 10 o'clock time frame, has been more dollar strength. But we're really still holding right around again that 103.50 ish mark. Obviously not as high as the peak. You can see, Thursday we hit it, and then Friday we kind of popped a little bit above before going lower. We're still kind of sideways, and again with any lack of any real major news here, this is kind of holding where it should. Um, You know, is 104 possible? Sure, I guess it is. I mean, you got, news articles out there, but like, oh, we're waiting, the next step is going to be rate, cuts. The Fed's been pretty clear. Here we go. Dollar weakens as markets worry about China. Um, the Fed's been pretty clear that they're going to hold it here for quite some time, that we're not looking to cut rates until the end of next year. So I don't know. It's kind of funny that all the talk and everything is the opposite, right? Um, that it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna start cutting rates now. It's like, I don't know if that's really what they're trying to say there, but kind of seems to be what the message is. So anyway, again, dollar not moving a ton. Indices for the most part, minus the Russell, all of them are in the green, and in all honesty, they should be. I mean, there's no real news to really kind of screw it up today. So I don't think that's necessarily what the biggest problem in the market is right now. So, not necessarily bad. Uh, Russell's always going to be a little bit more sensitive to rates or anything related to rates. And again, China lower, any problems in China, again, kind of the same thing. There'll be issues with that. As far as commodities go, for the most part, dollar kind of a little bit weaker, or what's seen as a little bit weaker, kind of trending more to the downside. So all the indices are up. Ginger, what are you doing? Okay, can we try to keep hey, try to keep Bubba's in that room for me, please? It's a funny picture because the suitcase, he literally could stand upright in the suitcase. Yeah, Daddy's working. Please go in that room. Should you roll his thing in the other room, please? Thank you. He literally could stand up in the suitcase. That's how big of a suitcase it is. Um, Commodities, oil, 81, 81.27 right now. Again, that's up about 0.76, right? Not a full percentage. And again, the U.S. session is where it tends to start going higher. So we see where we are. Again, with BRICS meeting tomorrow, there may be some movement in there again. BRICS is not OPEC plus, but a lot of the same nations are. Natural gas up 3%. We're back up to that 262 part. I was really hoping that we'd stay below 250 this week, or get down to 250 this week. But again, we're up 7 cents today, up 3% already. Gold and silver. Gold up just slightly, right around that 1890 mark. 1891 is where we're at. And again, with the dollar down slightly, not surprised. Silver up 1.5%. I'm kind of surprised by this silver thing. Silver being up this much. Again, there's talks of this of worrying about China, worrying about China, worrying about China. Remember, there's an industrial element to silver as well. If China's good, silver tends to do a little bit better for industrial purposes, not necessarily currency speculation. Right now, if that's bad, what's driving this, right? I don't know if people are convinced that, hey, listen, the Fed's gonna keep going. Jen, are you okay? Okay, mommy said you called her on the iPad. Mommy said you called her on the iPad. Oh, okay, maybe by mistake. This is like, why did you call me? I was like, I have no idea. She's still breathing. So again, silver being up over 23, I do think that there are shorting possibilities over there. Doesn't need to be. And again, with gold starting to turn, silver should probably catch up. It should be what's a proper day is double what gold is. Right now, gold is up 0.05, silver's up 1.3. So if there was some great news coming out of China, wonderful, but that's not necessarily what we're seeing. So I think that probably is due to kind of turn, roll, and flip back to the downside. As far as currencies go, let's go ahead and start with the Aussie dollar. So we were talking about kind of a bounce, and there was a small bounce, and then what happened was we hit 11 o'clock, and then it just kind of flatlined. And typically we say, hey, listen, don't carry this over the weekend. We expected this bounce. We really wanted to be starting up here, but unfortunately, we really didn't get any help in the overnight. It's just more basing sideways. Um, at this point, we know we have buyers down here at 63.81. It's got a little bit of room to run. It's got about 25, 30 pips. It's got about a 4-hour ATR, right? This one has a 27 4-hour ATR. So it's got about an ATR down. There's really you know, there's really no catalyst today to drive this anywhere. Could this be an area where we kind of push back down and then turn off of and roll higher? I still think that's probably true. It's kind of what we were talking about for last week. But again, kind of a standard Monday open where it's kind of like, oh God, what do we do? And it went down in the overnight, and then European sessions started to run back up, that dollar weakness like we talked about, and now the U.S. traders are fighting back again. So I think it's a potential turnaround. I would like to see these are two decent bottoms. I like the way this one was formed. I like the confirmation. It came down and didn't even hit as much as the confirmation. So I do think it is a potential area to turn and reverse. I understand it's probably going to be a slower move today. Um, Probably a slower move just because of, again, lack of any real catalyst out there. I don't think Brinks really made, if there's any Brinks headlines. I don't think that's really necessarily going to change too much. Um, what? Bug bite face. Got a bug bite right on his face. It's pretty funny. Go ahead, take that in the other room. Go. Um, so yeah, if we push back down, not surprising. If we hit this area, turn and bounce back up again, I think it makes sense. It's just without any real big news today. I think this is going to be a slower, kind of more grindy, kind of like where we're sitting right now. Okay. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, obviously we're seeing yen weakness across the board. You can see we came up and we had some problems. We kicked through at about 5:30 this morning, and then pulled back, and then we hit it again, and then we hit it again, and then we finally broke through the top side. So we mentioned this one last week, kind of starting up there. Unfortunately, we got into the U.S. or the European session. It was really just kind of going back and forth, and it just kind of flatlined on us. And then again, Sunday started here, Friday to Sunday, and we just kind of maintain, right? One quick drop, one spike up, and then just base, 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 base. We did put a little bit of a hiccup in here. I'll remove this just so it's easier to see. You can see we kind of hit it and started the base right below it. And you're like, "Ugh, that's not what I like." And then this stayed inside of the zone. The red stayed inside of the zone. The green stayed inside of the zone. And we really started basing in there, which tends to be that sign that, hey, listen, it's probably going to go through the top side. And it did. It went up. It actually grabbed, it came up to the 78.6. There are obviously sellers over there, but it's a little bit extreme at that point. So we can pull this one off. So could we use this one? Yeah, potentially. It's got about 35 pips. Kind of, I don't want to call it a racetrack, but that's kind of what it looks like here because there's no pullbacks on there. It's okay, but I would narrow this a little bit. I'd probably put it. I don't like to see where it comes down, but probably in there somewhere. This has hit the 78.6, so I'm not as concerned about it. Again, not really a sell for me there. It is pulling back, and again, it's rolling in new sessions. We're seeing some of that profit taking in the yen. But the question is, has the yen story really changed? And the answer for me is, I don't really feel that it has. Just because the U.S. session is open, I don't think really much is much different. So, right now, again, if we can come down and start basing in here, then yes, I'd look for a reversal back again. But that's a lot of Australian weakness that's coming in. I think if anything, wait for maybe another push higher on this one, and look for another level of profit taking. It has been hit a few times. It did push it a lot deeper. I may actually even shrink that one up to there. Um, we can take that off so you can see it just a little bit higher. Let's run this all the way up here. So kind of looking at that again, it's a 78.6 level, so not necessarily my favorite in those. But yeah, it is what it is, right? I think it has a very hard time slicing through. Not what is it, 93? Yeah, 93 on the downside. I think that's going to be a big area of buyers. Again, one little base in here that maybe we can come down and start basing. And again, really trying to push to find where the buyers truly are here. Again, this level of risk is only about 10, so 30 in the other direction is only here, right back down to where buyers are. So I think that's probably where the best setup for this one. I just don't know if we can get that much help with the yen, right? It's a lot of help with the yen. Euro dollar. All right, so euro dollar. We talked about a spike. We were kind of hoping that we opened here and then popped up to grab it. As you can see, the alert on this one went off at about 5:30 this morning, and we've hit it and started to already push back to the downside. It was a level we mentioned. We were really kind of hoping to get up there. Again, ideally at the Sunday Open, not the U.S. Open, but this is kind of where we were with the U.S. Open. It's about 14, and then again, 1 to 3 is sitting. It's a little deep right there. There's obviously basing in there. So that's what we were calling for last week. That's where we're at kind of right now. Not much else to say, but we knew there was a level that was tested over here. And again, the alert did trigger this morning. Yeah, 546. Right, 546. That alert went off, and with a pushing back. Okay. I think this one's okay. Again, U.S. session is where that dollar strength comes in. It started at 7:30 this morning. It is gonna have to kind of find a bottom down here a little bit. But right now, it should have eaten things up enough. So it is what it is. This is from Friday, so no point in really discussing that one. Euro pound. So Euro pound, we're talking about a push up, and again, this is that Friday mark, and you can see we were calling for it to pull back down. We knew we had buyers, and that's what it ran into. At 10 o'clock, that was really where the bottom was on Friday, and you can see we just kind of based. We pulled up and based along that same level right here. Again, these buyers here. And I said, definitely don't hold this one over the weekend. Sunday happened. It started to rally back up. We called for 85.64. It made it to 85.63. Actually, we called it for 85.64.2, and it made it up to 85.63.1. So I missed it by 1.1 pips. The sell on that one. It happens. It happens. But let's clear this one up and get this one ready for this week. There we go. Where it is now. And again, remember, I'm stretching this out to look at candles. It's more like this, right? It's got a 14 pip 4-hour ATR, 40 pips in an entire day. Can't believe I missed it by 1.1. You can see the yellow is, that's where we called for it. It is in an area of buyers right now. But again, we got another little test here and a test here. So there's two different blocks down here. Again, oops, block there. And then also a block, I guess, kind of there. So we got two levels, right? We got that level on top of a level. I think one of those two would be a better reversal in this one. I mean, it's got some room to run. Not a lot. Not a lot. Like I said, we're only talking about 10, 15 pips to either of those two. I think there's probably a reversal due off one of those two levels in here somewhere. Am I looking to take either one of them? Not really. Not without any type of catalyst. It just, this one moves too slow, right? I mean, you're not even getting 2 pips an hour. So, again, it's going to be one of those longer position type trades. Right? Euro yen. All right, so Euro yen is pushed all the way back up top. Again, somewhat of a racetrack based move starting from the European session, right? Looking at the 3 o'clock candle right there, it's basically been straight up. In this move, let's see, 118 pips. It's got a 126 ATR on the day. So again, makes sense where it's turning. This one, again, because this one moves so much, this one had a little bit more risk. It's about 18 pips to the top side. Question is, will we get enough, will we get further assistance? Again, it kind of matches the euro dollar at this point as well, but we know that there was some profit taking in the end. We saw it. Question is, will it continue to help us through the rest of the day? This is one of those ones. It's almost at a 1-to-1 at this point. Same level that we were looking for last week. We have pushed all the way through, so we can remove that. And actually, we can draw fibs from the bottom side now just to kind of see where some hiccups are. Yeah, you can see nothing. No hiccup at the 23 and very, very minor one at the 50. It looks like we really don't have a lot right now in this one until we get back down here to the 6218. So it looks like right now, if you're looking for shorts, it looks like, again, to do your buy close is 158.24 or 120 here. Let's make it just one. There you go. 158.25 is a better area where buyers should come in on the opposite side. So, removing the fact that this is the yen that we're relying on at this point, it should be able to push. There's not a lot in there. There's two imaginary lines, and maybe you see some people come in for those. But for the most part, it should tear all the way back down to the 158.25. Pound dollar. All right, pound dollar is just chop, 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 chop. You can see it ended up taking itself out at 1 o'clock yesterday. That trade that we had talked about in the morning coming through at 8:30. It was close, and I was just like, just take it off. Right? There's no point in doing it. We would have taken it off somewhere around in this area, and again, it ended up closing lower than that, but it did actually punch through the top at 1 o'clock, and it's still in that same area. We knew we had a level up top, and again, there's sellers here, and it found that, but it's really just pulling right back into where we were on that Friday number. You can see it's down 0.02, so not really trending at this point. Um, we could extend this across. I'll remove this because we don't need it right now. I still think the best two are the 128.19 and the 126.06. This level, again, long basing. It was confirmed. Again, Friday, it did push it pretty close to the bottom, 90% through, and then kind of pulled back up. And we're just really maintaining this kind of sideways movement. Again, it looks like the euro dollar where it's tearing back down again. There's not buyers till much, much lower. Is this a bouncing point? I don't love it for a bounce point because it took so long here. And I liked it here. But when it went down in one candle and really shrunk itself down to this level here, it's become almost nothing at this point. So, um, yeah. Um, um, yeah, just this is not a very high quality zone. And again, it's backstopped by all this right here. So, I think right now it probably has, I don't know, about 50 pips to run to the downside. Would I be interested in getting into it now? No, no. It's a little bit late at this point. If you're looking for the top, I would have said this area. These both kind of touch the same spot, and that's what the third touch came from. But just going from here where the touches were, a little bit riskier, and it was a third hit. So, unfortunately, this is one of those ones that, yeah, it is trending back and forth. It's maintaining the high side of a channel. You could say, oh, bounce off the top side of the channel. Yeah, it did. It did. Um, Great quality setup on a Monday morning with absolutely no news. Not really. Not really. So just, be cautious with that one. Is what it is. Pound yen. So pound yen also came right back up at the top. Looks very, very similar. We've already used this level one time, but I mean, if you wanted to throw another one on there, you absolutely could. Looks very similar to the euro yen. 1 to 3 is only sitting right there. Right there. 1 to 3 on. You can see running some fibs from kind of where the low to high was. Nothing of the 23, the 50s all the way down here, right? And there's not really any type of basing until we get all the way down to the 61.8. So we're looking at kind of down there, 154. 155.25, right? 155.25. So yeah, kind of the same trade setup, you know. Of the two, in all honesty, I think I probably like it. Depends on how much profit taking we're gonna see. Um, Euro pound is up, so the pound is technically weaker right now. Um, all right. If we can get a red, green, red, maybe it's something to run, take a shot on. It is about 90 pips to the downside. So problem is we really need that. We really need help. I hate relying on the yen. Right. The yen is like, the one that I don't want to. Yeah, I do like it short, but I like to see confirmation. But it's there. We just been in this level a bunch of times, so maybe the euro yen is a better opportunity on this one. Um, we'll see. We have the green, the red, the green pulls back up again. It looks like this one is going to be a push. So, um, yeah, I do like this one overall short, but I do hate relying upon the yen to get some help in this one. Again, I do believe that where we are, the yen weakness is going to come in a bit further than what the pound will. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, we called for this one to push back down again. It didn't quite get up there. So here was Friday to Sunday. We were kind of hoping it would be lower and then it would pop and go down. It did go down and then it did pop up again. So not the cleanest of entries. and then it pushed back down, and we knew the 135 was going to be an issue, right? 135 had been there in the past. It's not quite a 23, but the reason it turned here is because, again, 135 is a big psychological level, plus or minus. Um, and it looks like it went pretty much. Let's see, did it reach it? No, I went to the very right tip again. It looks like the 134.95.8 or 134.96, kind of pushing a little bit past was looks like that was the the turning point here, and was the same turning point. So again, we'll see if that, when this dollar kind of push runs out. Um, what pushes in here? Two things. There's a hold. I'm wondering. What if we look to get this one short up here? Hmm. I'd like to see. It's not a bad spot up here. Finding the sell spot though is going to be a little bit hard. And again, it's more dollar weakness, cash strength coming in. Oil obviously helping out a little bit. Um, and that's not a bad push. Yeah, I'm not opposed to this one. Again, we had the nice little red, green, red confirmation over here on the top side at this 135.64 ish. Again, if we push straight up in the air from 8 o'clock on, there will be profit taking. So that could be an actual place that we can get short. Um, it is not the worst, right? It is not the worst levels. Yeah, we'll see how that one unfolds. Yeah, yeah. I think that's this is one of those wait and see. And again, this is one of those ones you could potentially say, okay, listen, when we break through the top right here, alert me. Again, we'll use black. It's not necessarily a buy or sell. It's just a listen. We've breached that area of facing. Um, it's going to give you 15 pips to kind of get to that zone where we could see a reversal. Um, so yeah, not the worst of reversal levels. Okay. Dollar Swiss. Again, we were talking about being high. It did open up there Friday, Sunday. This one really didn't give a pullback. I was kind of looking for it to open down here and then push up. Um, it didn't really do it. It kind of opened and closed right. Let's see. Yeah, right on the same, almost right on the same dot. So really not much. It's kind of coming up and testing now. Kind of feeling the same thing I did Friday. Yeah, we're high up here. There's been sellers here. I mean, look at this. It pushed in, pushed in, pushed in, pushed in, pushed in. So it's pretty deep. If we don't turn here to push right back down again, I think again, be cautious with it. I think it has the potential to kind of break through. If we really start to get dollar strength and that kind of surge of, yeah, we're going to raise interest rates one more time. We hadn't prepared for it. I think that has the ability to push to back up to this 88, 60, 68 level. Um, I have one fruit fly that is literally like it's in the microphone. Not sure why it likes the microphone, but it goes to the microphone and then wants to land on my nose. Um, I will be. We're gonna have the vacuum cleaner out here in a little bit. We're gonna be vacuum cleaning. Okay, sorry. So yeah, right now I'd like for this to continue to go lower. Kind of leery about getting short this level again. If we do breach through the top, again, there could be a potential long trade out of this one. and that would be a long coming through 88.28, right? 88.28, right? It's just the top of this is kind of worked through. Again, looks very similar. There was a trade, got us out yesterday, Friday at 1 o'clock. We were calling for that before. You can see. Next turn we were really talking about was the sellers here, and we're kind of running into that right now. This one you can see ended up pushing back off for a nice little Harry Potter. That was out. Um, clear this one. Let's just yeah, where it is. Yeah, looks like 146.40 is still that kind of level. Um, not much else to say. Looks like from 3 o'clock on, how far extended are we? And we're about 84 pips. It's about 108, 110. It's got a daily ATR of 123. So again, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, oh god, we need help from the yen. Looks like again the dollar is still trying 1007, so we have to clear through that 1030 reversal time frame. Maybe a little bit of an issue for the dollar. So we'll see. Um, again, if we can run up to there and we start seeing that red, green, red confirmation, look to see what we're doing in Aussie yen, Euro yen, pound yen to see if we're at a level where it is starting to. Um, to look for that one to really kind of be pushing back to the downside. Okay. Again, dollar's still surging. Totally fine with that one. But again, it's just also showing some yen weakness, and we kind of need yen strength in a couple of the other pairs. So the yen needs to kick in, but unfortunately, right now the dollar is going to continue to win this battle. So it's strong, strong. This actually may be affecting some of the yen-based pairs right now as well. And it's funny. 1 hour ago, the dollar weakens as markets worry about China, and what is it doing? Continuing to go higher. So I think they wrote that. Well, this is a 30 minutes. So they wrote that article right here, and that was the dollar weakening. So not so much. I think they have like these articles like pre-queued up, right? Even Bitcoin. Look, Bitcoin is it's down 0.15. It's down 38. So holding it to the low, almost 26,000. So it's not even not even getting a lot of flexing over on this side. Actually, what is bonds doing? Bonds pulling down with dollar strength as well. So again, people are concerned, but you're daddy busy. Daddy busy. All right, let's go to crude. All right, so crude, we were looking for 81.81. It got to 81.75, so missed it by 6 cents right now, and is turning and pushing right back down again. Interestingly enough, we are getting selling going to the U.S. market. And again, this may be, again, absolutely without a doubt, could be the China thing, right? Right, concerned about China. A slowdown in China makes this price go down because demand goes lower. Um, It's a nice pullback too, and it's a shame because it blew through some levels and it's coming back up to selling right now. It's a shame we missed it by such a little amount, but that's really where you had to put it. Was again, we had the confirmation coming up, so this is one of those ones that again for fib traders, they were looking. 50 is one of the areas they're looking for. They would have missed it, right? They would have missed it, and it was this area right here that ended up being the reversal point. So, um, yeah, I mean, I would say right now in the short, I think the short kind of makes sense. Again, if the U.S. market is really focused on the China slowdown, absolutely lowers demand, and it helps us too, right? One level of buying coming in right here, right? I think there's your one level of buying right here, and again, I'll change this to a different color just so everybody can see it better. And then the next level is really down here at this, really down. God, it's a little bit of a hiccup. Probably down here at the 79.89 ish, right? 79.80 down here, I would say is probably where the other hiccup comes in at. Right. I would say right now for shorts, those are two areas where, again, if you were in this one short, make sure you look to take a little bit of profit off the table. Buying at both levels. Yeah, this is a Friday, like 2 o'clock when this market ended, right at 1:30. It flatlined. Again, nice kick up. Hmm. 15 to 23 at the same spot. Hmm. What if that'll get artificially sucked down? By the way, this level that the 23 and the 50 are on is right there. 80.38. Again, the 23's already been broken, so it doesn't weigh as heavily, obviously, right? But in the new push up, right, the low to high in the most recent push, it is a 50% level. I'm actually gonna remove this one and say, hey, I'm gonna say these are your two profit targets right now. I'm not gonna be surprised though if it turns off this. This is a lot of movement, very very fast for oil, considering there's no, you know, no major news. You can see oil is at 0.02, so it's about to actually officially turn negative, but it's turning negative into an area right here where you have buying, and you have an old 23 and a 50% retracement in the most recent push, right around this 80.38. I think it's an area that you need to be careful of, right? Area you definitely need to be careful of. So yeah, definitely need to be careful about that one. I wonder if that's where we'll get a reversal kind of stabilization for this morning. Natural gas. So natural gas, we were calling for a level. Again, we knew we had a level here that got, this was late Thursday night. We pushed down, we came all the way back up again, and you can see early Monday morning it's kind of fighting with that one and pushing back down again. And it's funny, natural gas moves higher on hot southern temperatures and rising storm threat. That came out an hour ago, and since that time, it's been coming straight back down again from 266 all the way down to 259. So gotta love these articles, right? Whatever the article says, do the opposite. Um, Kind of the same thing on this one. If you want to run fibs from the overnight, kind of like low to high, right? Go from that low to high. You can see we're sitting at a level right now with a 50 and a 61.8. There is a pullback to the level, and that's the last time it kind of took off higher. So there probably is going to be some, buying in here. Um, Again, could we break through it and go lower? Sure, we could. But right now, again, looking at purely not anything over on this side, looking purely here, there's buying happening that's there. Last time it pulled back down again, it was a takeoff point. We do know that it's almost 10:30. Being at 10:15, we're really really close. So again, it's at a level that we would expect to see some buyers stepping in. So obviously it's there's nothing guaranteed with that, right? It is not a guaranteed. Um, Not a guaranteed level, right, for reversals. But again, absolutely on a fundamental basis, it could bounce through here. 50, 61.8 is where a lot of people use for an entry and a stop loss, pushing back up to that 23 level. So not the worst of levels in there, right? Not the worst of levels. We'll see. So gold is officially minus 0.02. So you can see things are kind of changing. And again, gold spiked up. We talked about some profit targets on the top side, and this one kind of got itself out. We weren't really looking to take another short in there. You can see it peaked its head above, right? We were talking for this one to kind of turn, and you can see it's coming back down very, very fast and stabilizing. Um, we did get a little bit of a bounce late last night. Again, we knew we had one on Thursday. It did come down and use it and then kind of punch itself higher. Right now for gold, again, gold's pretty much just dead flat. We're seeing, let's see, is it Dixie slowing down yet? Yeah, Dixie's technically at zero point 0.0 as well, and it's rallying. Again, it's breaking through the top with 4 hits here. So it looks like the dollar is going to have the ability to go up to at least 103, like 58-ish, 57. It's just, here, I'll just change it up. 103.58. That's fine. So it looks like the dollar's got some more room to run before that 10:30 time frame, which makes gold, again, makes sense. The question is, will gold start to put new lows in here? Now, this was a bigger level. We knew that 1886 was buying. Again, you can see we hit it, bounced through, kind of got front run at this level, and then finally smashed through it. Again, it had been 1, 2, 3 plus a front run. We knew it was going to break. It wasn't really something to take a short off of. So it is coming back down again. I am wondering to see how far we can drive in this zone before we find a base in there. But overall, this is kind of what gold looks like. It's more or less flat sideways. People are waiting for what's next. Gold rises early despite higher yields as the dollar weakens and coming straight down over the last hour and a half. And that came out an hour ago. So you more when I'm done, okay? No. Dumping the milk all over the floor. No, no, that's not what the milk is for. Go bring it to Jen. Go bring it to Jen. Well, no, I'm not doing it right now. Mm-mm. He hates being told no. He's at that stage. We're not even two yet, but we're entering the terrible twos. Get it here. Go get it. There's milk in the hallway too. Did you spill it everywhere? No, no, we don't spill milk. Go clean it up. Go clean. Here, here. Go clean it. Go clean your mess. Okay, you can sit down and cry. It's okay. Um, he's really into like dumping liquids out too. He wants big boy glasses, but then to go back to bed. He's still adjusting to the 3 hour time difference. Yeah, you gonna go sleep? You go sleep. Everybody can hear you crying. Yes, everybody can hear you crying. You want to sit on Daddy's lap and just watch? Gecko's on in the other room. So yeah, I would like to see how far this pushes down. Could give us some buying opportunities for tomorrow. Um, not necessarily opposed to what's in there. Finding a buying opportunity in here. We do know it is on a larger time frame level. It's been hit a few times, so we need to find a new level. Silver, you can see silver starting to come back. It had that nice big push up from 530, and same thing. Gold is kind of accelerating. It's minus 0.07 right now. This one was up to what 0.13 or something like that. It's back under 1% for the day and continuing to push back down again. Kind of coming back to the same level here. And again, 1, 2, you can call it 3 or 4, doesn't matter. And then you can see it was due to break anyway. So, we knew that was going to cycle through. Ideally, I'd really like to see this come all the way back down to 2260. I don't know. With this in here, I don't know if we're going to be able to kind of chunk through this little area right here. I would say right now for downside targets, though, I think you're looking at this one to kind of come down and hit 2283. If you are short this one, kind of makes sense with what we have going on there. Yeah, I don't think this one stops from there till a bit. The question is, will we reverse off of here? This is a pretty decent little spot though, right in there. So it was a European based move or a European established zone. Um, Look, 16, 1, 0, 3, 5, 21. These are the only two. It's getting a little help from the yen. The BRICS data. Problem is, it's only day one. Hmm. There is some buying in here. I'm just trying to figure out what the catalyst. Maybe it's going to be the BRICS data. If we kind of push back down again, there we are going to find buying somewhere in here. Question is, where will it be and what will the catalyst be for it? It's like, silver traded above. See they have alerts also, right? Trading above 23 is a big deal because then people will get that alert, right? Just a headline. Silver trades above 23, and then people are like, oh, it's above 23, buy it, right? And as they're accumulating their positions, it's when it turns and rolls back down again. So, that's the latest news. Silver traded above 23. Yes, but it is below that right now. Look for this one to come down. I think there's a buying opportunity in silver. I don't think silver belongs where it is right now. Here, put this in here. I don't think silver really deserves to be above 23, but I do think there is some buying opportunity in this based off what we see, plus with the headlines. And it's been a while since we've got ahead an established level. Remember, this one will be taken higher and lower for speculation. But again, gold is where it should be. Gold has been pretty on touch with what the Fed is doing. Um, Silver, not so much. Right? Silver, not so much. So pull it open. Stop. The whiny thing is getting old. Um, Apple, not doing much. Holding at that 175, we knew that would be an issue. And again, it's really kind of holding firm at that level. Tesla, nice little jump, right? Yeah. Tesla stock is set to snap its losing streak. And if you're wondering why this one is set here, um, so I guess Tesla did something this weekend with the charging station thing, where more people will have access to the charging stations. There's been numerous articles now where people are trying to take road trips with electric vehicles, and it's not there, right? It's not there. I think it was. I saw another one this weekend that it was a CEO. No, you're not. No, 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 no. Cannot have that. It was the CEO of. Put this in there. It was the CEO of one of like the automotive groups, and that's what they were saying was that he tried to do it, but found that there are gaps. And then Tesla responded with like opening their charging ports to other people or something like that, which was kind of like the is that whole discussion of like the chicken or the egg, right? Do you build the charging ports so people buy them, or do you have to buy the cars so there's the demand to charge them for the ports, right? It was kind of like the same thing with like the hydrogen thing. Do you put the hydrogen stations in first so then people will want to buy the cars, or do you take that risk, or do you sell people cars that they can't refill? That's what they're starting to see in the electric market. So, and I don't know if you saw it or not, but which is kind of a negative for Tesla. One of the articles this week. No, stop. Nope, get down. Nope, I can't deal with it. Nope, go. Um, there was a study done, and basically showed that harvesting the lithium for the lithium ion car batteries is actually not sustainable. That is not a good long term thing. Um, so, yeah, I'm wondering if Toyota is going to be the way to go. They have that new engine that they're working on that they said it will be more efficient and be better greenhouse wise than batteries. So, yeah, uh, maybe there's something to that. So yeah, I will see. All right, VIX again. VIX starting to pull back down as it should. We mentioned this. Dollar again running into those same sellers, but it has actually peaked above. So again, the next push, if we can get one more push through, we should be able to push all the way up. So let's see what we had at the opening print this morning. It pulled down, but was not inside of a zone, unfortunately. Top two. There actually was something confirmed on the top side, but not at the bottom. Nothing here. There would have been a small zone, obviously, right here, right? And that one would have been confirmed in the overnight. But I'm leery because that was done from Thursday. I mean, obviously, it turned in reverse, but I'm going to say this is a no entry, right? We were down here at opening print. Could you have used that one? Yeah, you could have. Actually, this is just a break. Harry Potter. Drop, base, drop back down again. Confirmed in the overnight, right? So there was there, but again, the zone wasn't formed today. The zone was formed last week. So a little bit more leery about it. So could you have taken the short off of it? Sure. Doesn't quite meet the rules that we're looking for, but again, decent push back down again. This one probably has room to run all the way down to here to 134.7950. Question is, will we get down there at 10:30 and will we be able to reverse off that level? So, we'll see. Something just beeped. What was it? Oh, dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD is trying to. We're seeing that dollar surge, which is good. We wanted that surge to come through the top, so we're getting close. We're getting close. Okay, we're getting close. But again, as far as ES goes, could you have taken that one? Sure. Doesn't meet the opening print rules, so we're not going to count it, but it is absolutely a short in there. NQ, again, pulled back at 915. It is a red 915, but not really in a zone. And what did it do? It lined up the open for a nice little surge higher. And then it did thankfully miss the reversal, this one, though. But again, this is a level from last week. You can see it did miss it. But again, it was at 12 o'clock on a Thursday, so not really where you're looking for a reversal. But funny enough, it loaded it up. It went low, 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 just in time for it to accelerate. But again, not in any type of confirmed zone. Nothing over there to worry about. So no entry for NQ. YM. Let's see, 7. That was already collapsing. 9:30 over here, and again, no confirmed zone. Yeah, it pulled up and again just continued to deteriorate. This would have been a Chinese story. Let's see, was it? No, it wasn't even close. Wasn't even close to a 50 in there. So yeah, yeah, I would say this one does have an area of buyers. Obviously, it's stabilized itself right here. Looks like YM is obviously catching up. There could be a potential reversal on this one. Russell was the weakest, but now YM is sitting right there as well. So yeah, opening prints here. No confirmed levels in the overnight. Again, just got negative really, really bad, which is funny because NQ had the exact opposite reaction. Check out Russell. I doubt Russell had much though. Yeah, no, Russell with the same thing. Look at Russell whipping everybody back and forth. Right? It tried. It missed it. Just so you guys know. It looks like it's awesome. But look, it missed. Right? At the open. And again, this is more set up as a Harry Potter. Look at all the basing. Right? There's what your base looks like. We hit it this way. Again, just went up for the next zone and used that to the downside. Of all of them, I would say Russell actually has the most the most room to move. This is way too big of a zone, but I would say right now, Russell, if you are short, you're you got a little bit of hiccup right here, but I think you can get down to this 88.44. I think this one has some room to run. So, again, opening prints tend not to be the best on Mondays because a lot of the zones that it's bouncing off of were from the week prior, and we don't like to kind of extend it that far. Yeah, not much I can do. Can't make zones in those if they're not there. So, is what it is. Yeah, look at dollar. Dollar's trying to get some more ground. So we still got some more room to run. Crude is retreating back. Look, it got what did it get down to? 80.43. It got down there before it found those buyers. So again, crude also at a level right now where we could be turning and reversing back to the downside. Again, gold flirting with this as well. And again, silver continuing to push down. It's not quite where it needs to be. It's only up 0.88 now. So they're all moving kind of where we expected them to go to. Again, the problem is we just don't have any news today, right? I mean, this is what we're dealing with. I mean, this is with all the weak stuff, and it's already all out. There's just nothing there. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just a you know, bunch of opinion articles. So, yeah, welcome to Monday. 5, 1, single digits, right? Single. 20 is not great, although that's not bad there. Again, this is coming down. It was much higher than this. Again, it shows you that it's continued to deteriorate. And we're actually seeing it now in the last 15 minutes. You're seeing the end deteriorate here as well. So, yeah. Yeah, we'll see if if the dollar's going to get any help over here. So we're close. But again, welcome to Monday. 3, 1, 10, 10, 20, 15. The only thing decent right now is the 2 yen pairs. So, all right, that's it. Let's go ahead and do the drawing. Wow. Neuro is the only one in today. Look at that. So I'm going to give it the 2:30. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Marina gets in. I was going to say, we always do the 30 seconds once it's there. Yeah, no, not 100% back. I still swallowing is not effortless. There's still like a little bit to it, right? Not effortless, but there's not the pain with it. So, all right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right, here we go. Pretty close. 2-1. Winner today's drawing is Neuro took it. Look at that, Neuro. Not bad. You had a 66% chance of winning. You had a little bit of an edge there, right? So again, you get your 25, right? We said that we were resetting on a Monday. Ernest was actually coming in as the winner because we were following through and he wasn't here. So again, can't win, or, can't win if you don't play. So you'll get your 25 to start off. So you will go into tomorrow being a winner. And again, 66 versus 33. It was close. It was close. And I mentioned both your names. So it was all fair. It was fair today. So with that, I will see you guys tomorrow morning. We'll see if we have, not as many people sleeping in, right? It's Monday in the summer. Vacations, what do you expect? So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you then. You guys have a good one.